In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to automatically filter emails from a specific group of people to a specific folder. Alright, so the way that we're going to do this is to go up to the top of the screen with Home selected, and you're going to choose this button that says Rules. And it will probably pop up a lot of different options, but just go ahead and go down to the bottom and go to Manage Rules and Alerts. This is going to pop up the list of all of your rules. And if you have this list up, you'll notice that you can turn on and off rules, and I'll cover that later. What we're going to do is go ahead and go to New Rule. And this opens up several options, and I recommend that you look through all of these and see which ones are most applicable to you. But for now, I'm just going to go ahead and choose the first one, and in later videos I'll explain how to do some of the other ones. But right now I'll do Move Messages from Someone to a Folder. And down here at the bottom, you'll see step 2. It says edit the rule description. So we've got apply this rule after the message arrives from people or public group. So I'll click that, and it's going to pop up my list of contacts in the global address book. So from here, you could one by one go through and enter in anybody's name that you need to, just like you do when you do an email. That's one way to go about it. Alternatively, you can go up to this field that says Global Address List and click it and change the field to Contacts. And now you're going to get a list of all the contacts that you've created, including your contact groups. So for instance, I'm going to take my Algebra 2 PLC group and I'll add that to my list, and I'll hit OK. And it's going to pop up this message that says that it's a contact group that may not be used with the feature. Would you like to use the individual members? That's fine. All it's going to do is take the contact group that you created and split it out into all the specific people. And that's what we want. It just saves us the time of having to enter in each name individually. And then I go to move it to the specified folder. I'll click this. And I've got a lot of choices here. So what I'm going to do is go to Inbox, and I'm going to click this little arrow, and now I've got a bunch of different options, all the folders that I created earlier. So since I chose my Algebra 2 PLC group, I'm going to choose my Algebra 2 PLC folder, and I'll hit OK. And now I've got this list of rules. So it applies the rule after the message arrives from all the members of my Algebra 2 PLC, and then it moves it to the Algebra 2 PLC folder. And then the last thing it says, and stop processing more rules, we're going to get rid of that. So we've got to go ahead and click Next. In here it gives you a lot of options. I'll explain these in more detail in later videos. Then we're going to go ahead and click Next again. Once again, a lot more options. We'll go through that later on, except you'll notice the first one is the stop processing more rules. Go ahead and get rid of that. So that way I don't want that one. For some reason it seems to add that to every rule that you create. Get rid of it because it prevents all your other rules from being made. Alright, then I'll click Next. It gives some exceptions. I'll explain this in a later video. And then we'll go ahead and hit Next. And then up at the top you've got step 1, specify a name for this rule. So you could just leave it like it is with all the names of whatever group it is you want to send, but I'm going to go ahead and type Algebra 2 PLC filter. And what this is going to do is filter all of the messages from my Algebra 2 PLC into this folder. You've got a few options here. I can either run this rule on messages already in the inbox, and if I choose this, what it's going to do is go through my inbox, and anything from any of the members of my PLC are going to be moved to that folder. If you don't check this, it's just going to do it from now on. So it's not going to go take any previous messages, it's just going to take all future messages. And then you definitely want to turn on this rule because you want it to happen from now on. So once I have this all set up, I'll click Finish, and I'll see that it pops up in my list of rules, and I can see the description right here. And from now on, whenever I get an email from anyone in my Algebra 2 PLC, I'm going to see it pop up in my Algebra 2 PLC folder. So just like I have here where it says Administration 1, I've created another rule for my administration. So let's go ahead and take a look at what that looks like. So I've created another rule, and you'll see that whenever I get emails from the administration, they are automatically routed before I read them to this folder. So then I can look at each folder individually and see how many emails I have from each person or group.